Whoa! Look at this! I can't believe this! Whoa! It's one of those balloon animals now.
I get people commenting on my stuff, you'd be so much stronger if you ate meat.
What? What are some common misconceptions about being vegan?
Why don't we write a book about this? Because this is not covered in the textbooks. So we wrote a book. Well, I think the big one that people have trouble with is meeting their protein needs. And
right. How do you do that? I'll tell you what. We're about to have millions of views. It's going to be amazing. I can't believe it. It's finally happened. Somebody is on Reppin' Fitness and they're at the gym. Unbelievable. Melody, thanks for being on Reppin' Fitness.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, tell me about this gym.
This is where the magic happens. This is my little space. It's just me here and my clients. I teach a couple group classes. I teach a bunch of privates. And I just was like, what kind of gym would I want to train in? And that's what I put together.
Yeah, I have a feeling I would love it there. I'm actually in the locker room at my gym right now.
Oh, nice.
But I wish I had set up at my gym now that I know you're there.
You should
I wish I thought of it.
Come on.
Next time. So, but anyways, Melody.
Yeah.
You've had an extensive career in health and fitness with over 20 years of training experience.
Yep.
And you've been an author, right? A couple fitness books.
Yeah.
And do you have your master's degree in health psychology? Is that true?
Yeah, that is true.
It's like I did my homework. It's like I know you. Unbelievable.
Or you're a really good guesser.
You know what? I always wondered why I knew this stuff. That might be it. But anyways, what first sparked your interest in the fitness world?
It was so random. Because I'm a musician and I did not grow up athletic.
Oh, well, we're getting there. We're going there.
Oh, okay.
Metal.
No, I mean, I didn't grow up athletic at all because in my family, if you read books and then you go to Harvard and then you marry someone who goes to Harvard and then you have kids who go to Harvard. And that is not what I did. My brother, Brad, at the time had opened a personal training center for women, and I was working at an advertising agency, making $20,000 a year in New York City, which will buy you like a sandwich. And Brad said, well, you can work here on the weekends, and I didn't know what I was doing. So he basically would write the programs, show me how to do them, and then I'd vomit that back on the client. And I don't like walking the walk without talking the talk without walking the walk. Yeah. So I
hear you.
Started doing it myself, and the rest is history.
Now, this is going to be breaking news because I don't think I've talked about this yet. But this is going to come out in August. So by then, who knows where I'll be. But Brick is actually studying to get my NASM certification.
What?
Yeah. I actually decided I would document the whole process as I'm learning chapter by chapter. I'll make some videos to help other people learn on the way, because people here, where are you located? California?
Pasadena, California, yeah.
So, yeah, the NASM certification qualifies there. But I do have some friends up in Canada, Andrew Coates.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah.
I consulted with him. I was asking him, what do you think? What should I do? But, we actually, now that I mention it, we have a viewer question. Somebody asked a question.
Oh, boy.
For you, specifically. I've never really had this happen before.
All right.
But here we go.
Okay.
Let me just review this.
Okay.
Now, this person asks, what's your definition from a fitness standpoint of reality? What would that be? So, what's your idea of reality when it comes to the world of fitness?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So reality to me it's so variable based on what you've got going on in your life. The reality for a single mom with 6 kids is going to be very different from my reality.
Right.
And the reality of someone who does not have specific athletic goals is going to be very different from someone who does. So it really is gonna vary. But reality is, what can you do that is realistic within your lifestyle that supports your goal for yourself? I mean, that's basically what it comes down to.
Right. And my reality is that in October, I'm going to be in Mr. Olympia, and I'm going to win it.
Yeah.
So, for those of you watching, we had a little glitch out, and I think it was because we were both too attractive for this whole podcasting thing. But I got it fixed. Now, my understanding, from what I've read, is that you know a little bit about some strongman competitions.
I mean, a little bit.
You've held state and American records in powerlifting, right?
I have. Yep. I've done plenty of strongman competitions. I tend not to do well because I'm 105 pounds, and I usually compete in the 140 and under pounds. So I'm trying to lift the same things as people who weigh a whole lot more than me, and there's only so much you can do with this kind of weight behind you. But it's fun. I enjoy it.
That's great, and I love that you do it, regardless of the fact you got some big people in your competition in your weight class.
Yeah,
that's a little unfair, but it doesn't stop you from having fun and taking on the challenge, because it's all about challenging yourself.
Absolutely. And if you go in with this attitude, I think of, I'm probably not going to win, but it'd be really cool if I did. So I'm gonna just do my best and see what happens. Like, I don't go in with like super high expectations, but I go in giving it my absolute best because I still want a medal.
Speaking of medal,
yeah,
I know you're talking about some hardware you won, but Brick's got to know. I think you're known for your feats of strength, right?
That's what they say. Yeah.
Having been a stick in a previous life, that's impressive to me. Okay. Brick needs to see this.
Yeah.
What kind of feats of strength you got?
I mean, I bend nails, I tear phone books, I've torn license plates, I've rolled pans. My favorite one that I ever did was I broke a Louisville Slugger in half, but that's really just kind of something you do once because that's not a cheap trick.
No. Whoa. That's amazing. Are there videos of this?
There is, yeah. You can find it online for sure.
Unbelievable. I gotta see this stuff.
Do you want to see it?
Do I? Yeah, I do.
I mean, I have some metal on me.
Just right there. You just had it right there.
I just have it.
Oh.
I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
I will say, like, we have two wildfires happening here right now. One on that side and one on that side. And it's making the air quality really bad here right now. So my energy, is not great because my respiratory system is affected. But
okay.
We'll see what happens. All right.
Okay. Be careful. Look at this. Wow. Wow. Oh. What? I can't believe this.
I'll go about that far with it today.
Wow. I can't believe. Wow, look at that thing. It's one of those balloon animals now. That's incredible. Wow. I'll tell you what. We're about to have millions of views. It's going to be amazing. I can't believe that. Now, you're currently at Flawless Fitness, right?
I am.
Nice. Now, with your background, how do you integrate different disciplines into your fitness programs there?
For myself or for my clients?
For your clients.
I mean, it really just depends on what their goals are. I kind of have something for everybody here. So I have everybody from, I have people who are in their late 70s, and I have people who are 9 months pregnant, and I have kids, and I have everybody here. So, it just kind of depends on what it is they're trying to do. I just got a new client today who's trying to be a pro soccer player. So just I got so many different people. It just depends on what their goals are.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, you got a lot of unique equipment there.
I do.
What other types of equipment are there?
Well, I mean, I train in a lot of weird sports, so a lot of the stuff is for me, and my clients have no interest in it. But I have a lot of
Oh.
weird grip tools. Like this is a rolling handled. You would put like a weight at the bottom of this and then pick it up like that.
Right, right.
And it's really hard to hold on to, especially if you're dealing
Whoa.
with these. Actually, I have a couple of them up here. See?
A couple.
Yeah, because that's to do pull-ups on. And it's the same idea. They're rolling handles, but
Oh, I see that.
I do pull-ups on them. And I was one pull-up away from the world record. And then my friend Tammy, who is a ridiculous
What?
gripped athlete, and she's a rock climber, and then she went and got five more. And I was like, so what a bummer. But then I have like a lot of strongman equipment. So I have like my yoke and my stones and my kegs.
Whoa.
I love this thing, the Freak Athlete, like glued ham thing. That's a really fun tool. I have different kinds of barbells. And I used to own a company that made steel equipment, and so we built this whole thing.
Whoa.
So you can see, like,
Oh, cool.
yeah. And this thing is really super cool. It's it's like for aerial arts. It's an aerial cube. But what I do,
Whoa.
so I can bring it down for short people. And a lot of my clients don't like they want to learn how to do pull-ups, but they don't have the strength to hang from the bar yet. So they can keep their feet on the floor and just kind of get used to what that feels like. Or you can just be a really short person and have the ability to like reach the bar. So it's pretty and that's my favorite thing.
Oh, that's cool.
I love that thing. And then I have
that's
all
really
kinds
cool.
of like logs and maces and stuff like that. So I have all kinds of stuff.
You mentioned that you were going for a world record and you missed it by one, and then one of your friends came in and beat it by 5?
By 5, yes.
Unbelievable.
Well, she's a ridiculous.
Wow.
She's a grip athlete, and she is a She owns several world records in grip, and she's a rock climber, and she has very long fingers.
Wow.
And she has a lot of benefits that I do not, and she's just amazing. She's amazing. Her name is Tammy.
So that question earlier that I asked you, that came from Coach Lee Boyce.
Oh,
you're familiar, right?
I know that guy.
Yeah. You asked him a question. He figured it out. He figured out who it was from. He knew. I didn't ask about real estate though. I left that one out. But now he knows. So yeah, he asked a question, and those of you that haven't watched that previous episode, please check it out. But what you didn't get, if you didn't see it, is that they wrote a book together.
We did.
Tell us about that book.
So it's called Strength Training for All Body Types, and what we realized was, so I met Lee at a conference.
I get it. Yeah. I get it too. It's because he's pretty tall, like me.
Yeah.
And well, you're a little shorter than normal, right?
Like we almost passed for twins, but not quite. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And we met at a conference, and we kept saying like we need to do a thing. We need to do a thing, and we did. Yeah. We finally did this video together, where we showed the difference between him squatting and me squatting, and him deadlifting and me deadlifting, and we like timed it to show like how long it took and all this stuff and what his form looks like versus mine. And I was and it kind of took off. It kind of got a little bit viral. So I was like, why don't we write a book about this? Because this is not covered in the textbooks. And so we wrote a book. So it basically is about how the physics of the human body and how the textbook form doesn't fit every single body. So if you have really long femurs, for instance, your deadlift's going to look very different from
right.
My friend Brad Dieter said, "You're not strong. You're just short." But he's not wrong, because I have a lot less distance to pull stuff than someone like Lee.
Right.
So it's a lot more work for Lee to do the same lift that I would do.
That's interesting. Now, that's not my favorite book that you got. My favorite book is Pleasure Not Meeting You.
Yeah.
I just love the name. I love that name. It's so good.
That was my first book.
Now, Brick, well, I gotta be honest. I eat meat, so that's I would like to talk about this though. What are some common misconceptions about being vegan that are addressed in your book?
Well, just that we're not healthy. We can't be strong. If we are strong, it's because we're taking steroids. I get all the time. I get people commenting on my stuff. You'd be so much stronger if you ate meat.
What?
It's like it's a silly comment to begin with.
Right.
If you understand anything about the science of nutrition, it's a silly comment. But then also, it's just if it's a moral question, then I don't care if eating meat would make me a little bit stronger. Like, what is that going to
Right.
achieve for me? You know, like I'm already
Right. Exactly.
staying strong for someone my size. Like, what am I going to achieve by being a little bit stronger and eating in a way that does not agree with my own personal morality? You know?
Right. But on a vegan program, you can get jacked still, right?
You can. Have you like some of the
Nice.
there's a vegan strong team. They compete at the Olympias and at the at the Arnolds and everything. And they have several teams. They have a strongman team, they have a kettlebell team, they have a powerlifting team, they have a bodybuilding team. They clean up. They clean up. Especially the bodybuilding team does so well.
Now, if someone was considering a vegan lifestyle, what are some tips you could share that would make the transition a little easier and ensure they're meeting their nutritional needs still?
Well, I think the big one that people have trouble with is meeting their protein needs. And
Right. How do you do that?
Well, for me, I plan it in advance. You know, I don't track my food at all. Like, I don't want to track my food. I just won't.
Right.
But I do have an idea of how much protein I need in each meal and what proteins I want to make that up with. So I just pick my proteins for the day. I figure out how much about I need in order to get about 50 grams. I try to get about 50 grams a meal. And then I just, that's what I have. If I'm not hitting it, then I increase the protein in the next meal, you know. Or if I had one day where I didn't hit it, oh well, you know, I'll survive. It's not what you do some of the time; it's what you do most of the time that matters. So
that's great.
But yeah, I have a litany of protein sources at my disposal because what's really cool is that being vegan has become very trendy. So we got a lot of options out there now. And so I pick things that work for my personal taste, and I really like. There's a company called Blue Mountain Foods that does a fava bean tofu, and the whole block of it is like, I don't know, something like 200 calories and has 50 grams, more than 50 grams of protein in the whole thing. So I'll just eat a whole block of that in with a bunch of veggies and stuff and make that a meal. There's a company called Meaty, ATI, that I really like their stuff. They make these cutlets. They're made from like a mushroom root, which I don't entirely understand what a mushroom root is, but I guess it's the root of a mushroom. And then they mix it with a little bit of chickpea flour, I think, and then they make these cutlets out of it, and it's really good. I make my own seitan, which is basically wheat gluten mixed with, I mix it with lupini bean flour, and then you make like kind of a meat substitute out of that. It's very easy to do. It's not hard. You just have to understand what your options are and make use of them.
Right. I mean, you're saying you plan your meals to have about 50 grams per meal of protein.
More or less, yeah, if I can.
So, how many times a day are you eating?
3.
3 times?
Yep.
So, wow. Yeah, you've got all the protein you need to fuel your body and get some gains.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I'm a very small human. Like, I'm really small. I'm like maybe 5 feet tall on a good day and 105 pounds. I don't probably need as much protein as someone who's your size. You know, you're probably much bigger than me. So you might need more protein than I do.
Yeah, we're in the same ballpark area. I do go over 200, you know, just because, well, you know, look at me, right?
Yeah.
I'm huge.
You gotta keep the jackness.
Now, usually, this is the part where I start talking about reps and asking you if you've been to the gym today, but, well,
here I am.
It's pretty clear. Yeah. You're at the gym. Yeah. Have you been able to work out yet, though?
Yeah, no, you know what? I didn't train today because of the air quality is really just kind of...
Oh, yeah, right.
But I did train the last 2 days, so I could have used the day off today anyways.
How often do you have to worry about the air quality in California like that?
In the summertime, it depends on how many fires there are, honestly. Like last year, we were really lucky because there weren't too many fires here. Seems like Canada got all our fires last year, but this year we've already... We've had a bunch this year already, and I'm surrounded on 2 sides by them. So the area that I live in is kind of like a little bowl. it's like a valley, and
Yeah.
all of that smoke gets held in by the atmosphere here,
Oh.
so it just kind of sits.
Now, when you're working out at the gym, we got to talk about it. What music are you listening to? What's pumping you up?
Heavy metal, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's the correct answer.
yeah.
Now,
Always.
let's talk about music. Let's talk about your band.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I'm technically in two bands, and then I do a bunch of
Whoa,
like
okay.
recording projects on the side. So like I do a recording project from time to time called Three Ring, which is my friend Adam's project.
Three Ring.
He has me come in and do like duets with him. So one of the songs that I had the most success with was a song I did with him called "Can Anybody Hear Me?" That one got like something like 700,000 hits just on YouTube.
Whoa.
So that one did really well.
Nice.
But then I'm in an Iron Maiden tribute here in Pasadena. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's
so
what I've been waiting for.
I'm the Bruce
Yeah.
Dickinson of my band, and then I'm in an original project called SD17.
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 Nice. What's that?
So that is a melodic metal band, and they're actually based
Whoa.
out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. So I go down to Albuquerque once a
Whoa.
month and work with them.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have stuff on stuff available on Spotify or anything like that?
We do, and so the interesting thing about that is that it started as a recording project over COVID.
Yeah.
The guy who started the band, his name is Tim. He started it as a recording project, and he was like, well, I could have any singer from anywhere. So he started getting these singers from Europe. And so the first couple songs they did with European singers. And then when the pandemic wrapped up, or at least the lockdowns wrapped up, they started having, shows started happening, and they got all these offers. They got like this offer for a tour in Japan. They got this offer from Rocklahoma and all this stuff. And then they couldn't take them because the singers they had didn't want to come down. So so then they were searching for another singer, and they came up with me. So
Nice.
yeah, so I'm excited about it, and we're just starting to play. So we have a few songs out right now, but only two of them are with me, and it's the most recent two. And we're going to be putting out several more this year. So by the time August rolls around, there's probably going to be three with me. And then we just booked a really big festival in Europe for next year, which I'm excited about.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we're working it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've always wanted to play one of the big European metal festivals, so I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
All right. Are there any bands announced for it already that we might know?
I don't know. They're not letting me really announce it yet because they haven't done this year's yet. And so when this year's is done, then they'll announce next year's lineup, and I'll let you know.
So, those listening at home, you just got the exclusive.
The exclusive.
We broke it here first, before anyone else.
Yeah.
Before anyone else. Now you know.
Now you know.
Melody won't be in the country. She'll be out of here for a little bit.
Yeah.
But because she's jamming
August. Out. That's right. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Nice. Now, what's next for you, Melody? Anything coming up now?
As far as
any projects, any events you're particularly excited about?
Well, this weekend I'm going off to Baltimore for the NSCA National Conference. So
cool.
Yeah. And then I'm speaking at CanFit Pro with Lee. I'm doing that in August. So that'll be cool in Toronto. And I don't have any like books on the horizon right now because I'm a little booked out.
I like that. That was good.
Yeah, but
you seem really good with the puns.
I am. I'm a big fan of the puns. But
you got any jokes handy on you we could share with the audience?
Jokes. So my jokes are so corny, like so corny.
I love it.
And
well, you're vegan.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like jokes that like a 5-year-old would tell half the time. Like, and I'm also the that's what she said queen of North America. But okay. How do you know? Oh, sorry. Let me think, because I have a few in my head right now and I'm mixing them all up. How do you get 4 elephants into a Volkswagen?
4 elephants. How do we get 4 elephants into a Volkswagen? How big's the Volkswagen?
2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Oh,
okay. How do you know if there are 4 elephants in your house?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. How do I know?
Volkswagen's parked out front.
No!
Okay, no, we're gonna keep going with this.
Stunned!
You asked.
Okay.
How do you know-
I'm ready. Give me that.
How do you know if there's an elephant in the fridge?
How would I know?
Footprints in the butter. Okay.
Ugh.
How do you put
Gah.
a giraffe in the fridge?
How do you put a giraffe in the fridge? I have no idea. How would I do that?
Take out the elephant, put in the giraffe, close the door.
Oh,
Okay.
come on.
So last
Okay.
one. King of the
Okay,
Jungle
one more.
The King of the Jungle has this big meeting. All the animals show up except one.
Yeah.
Which one doesn't show up?
Which one doesn't show up? I don't know.
The giraffe. He's still in the fridge.
No, come on. I walked right into it. But hey.
You should have known better than to ask me to tell jokes.
I should have known better, but I loved it because walking right into it, I got some steps in.
That's right.
And steps are reps
There you go.
Steps are reps too.
Steps and reps.
Got me some reps.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you so much. Now, listen, this has been great, Melody, but if somebody wanted to connect with you, how could they do so?
I am all over the interwebs. If you really like pictures of animals, you should go to my Facebook page or my Instagram page. It's mostly pictures of animals and occasional.
Oh yeah.
And occasional.
I saw the dogs.
Dogs.
I saw
like all the dogs. I'm like the cookie stop for all the dogs in my neighborhood. So you can see all the dogs that come to my gym. You'll see my dog, my cat, my guinea pig. You'll see all of it. And I volunteer at an animal sanctuary, so you'll see them too.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm at 5, the number 5 FT of Fury and the number 1, 5 feet of Fury 1.
Okay, I usually put the username down in the bottom corner of your screen to make it easier. People got some weird names on there, you know?
They do.
But yours is pretty easy.
They do.
Yours is pretty easy.
They do.
And memorable.
Every once in a while, I have something educational on there, so, you never know. You never know when I drop an education bomb.
That's what she said.
She said it.
And this has been... She did say it. That's the joke. She said it. Anyways, hey, Melody, thanks so much for being a guest on Rep and Fitness.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you on the next repisode. Break it strong!